Do you want to buy a new construction home, but you don't know what to expect behind the scenes? Well, stay tuned because in this video, I'm going to show you a live new construction walkthrough with one of my clients and provide some really great tips that you'll need to know when building your new construction home. Hi, I'm Natasha, a licensed realtor, and here I talk real estate and have real conversations. Let's get right into it. I'm on TikTok, so make sure you follow me there. But while on TikTok, I saw a creator who had a bit of a new construction horror story. And his horror story was such a teachable moment for what I'm bringing to you guys today.
Homeowners or those thinking about building a home. This is my home that me and my wife had built back in 2017. And when we moved in, cost us $263,000. So, and we got this house built through Ryan Homes. I'm getting ready to show you a little crazy story. I would love to hear some of your horror stories if you built a home, because here goes ours. This gigantic hole, and you can see where water was leaking through and causing issues. And all because someone put a bad part in right here on purpose and cocked it sideways to make it work. Over time to be causing this leak, which now has a hole in our ceiling and us dealing with an issue like this. But he said it was $10,000 to fix it. Again, my builder was Ryan Homes. I would love to know your story and who your builder was, because this is ridiculous.
Now, I commented on this video to let this creator know that no matter what, you can always have representation for yourself as a buyer. In this video, he shared that, and in his comments, he shared that the construction site and the sales manager there told him that he couldn't work with a realtor. Now, I'm not 100% sure on how far he was in this process before that comment was made or before he wanted to ask for a realtor. But if you start with a realtor at the top of the new construction process, then that realtor can help you throughout the process. And the good thing about it, at least for now, is that when you go into a new construction site and you bring your realtor, the seller or the builder is responsible for your agent's commission. Okay, now I'm going to show you what this process looked like for one of my clients who did new construction. This video is multiple videos that I pieced together, but of course the new construction process sometimes can be a long process. So the video shows that. It also shows my client and I with our third-party inspector, which is something that this creator shared they did not do. So that was probably one of the reasons they were not privy to some of the issues that they found in their home. So we're going to walk through this video. I'll pause it throughout just to share and comment on what exactly you're seeing and give you a few tidbits as we view. Hey y'all, so I am here because I am about to do a pre-drywall inspection walk and just kind of give you guys some insight on, the whole new home process. And so this is very important because it's not that you don't think that you have signed a contract with a reputable builder, but at the end of the day, we're all human, and your construction team is human, everybody's human, and human error could occur. So you get the inspection, the pre-drywall, just to look into the home. We've had a large amount of rain around here as of late. And so it's going to be really important to get in there to see if everything, looks the way it needs to, and ask any questions and then address any things that need to be addressed. So stay tuned.
Fire-rated wall. Alright, so what they do is once this wall does catch on fire, the L clips melt and it collapses the wall. Alright? So when it collapses inward, if the fire was here,
Okay, so what we just saw, you saw very early on in the video, was the pre-drywall phase. And basically, that is where you just see the home bare bones and only the wood, and some of the rough electrical. So those things. This is before they put up drywall or sheetrock. Um, you may also have heard it called that. But basically, in new construction, you definitely always want to do this because you get a third party inspector out, and keeping that in mind, you will probably have 2 inspections. The reason that you want to do a third party person is because that person is not affiliated with the builder. That person is independent. That person is hired by you and works for you. So they're going to do their due diligence to point out to you, their client, what they found and what they need to, or what you need to relay to the builder. And when they do this, they're going to point out all types of things that need to happen before that drywall, sheetrock, whatever goes up. Because once it goes up is up, and if it's the type of issue that is behind that, then it has to be torn out, and that's really costly. So sometimes this can stall your new construction process, especially if you're dealing with subcontractors who are just kind of rolling through really quickly and not paying attention. So it's imperative that you get someone out there pre-drywall so they could look at the work that's been done before any sheetrock or drywall goes up. So that's what you're seeing here. And yeah, so let's take a look at a little bit more once we got further along in the process. So what you're seeing so far here with my client is the home, once the drywall inspection happened, then they put the drywall up, they started painting, they started going full steam ahead. But there were tons of things that weren't done. And if you're in the new construction process, whether your realtor is in the city that you're in or you live in another city, it's imperative that you get yourself a realtor that can give you updates often. Now, if you're going with a larger builder, we actually went with a builder that was more local or regionally known. But if you're going with a larger builder, then more than likely they'll have sales folks on site, or that salesperson will kind of keep you up to date with some sort of timeline as things progress, letting you know where things are. But if you don't, you'll need to be working with your realtor so that your realtor is in contact with the listing agent or the sales agent to let you know on a regular basis where exactly they are in the process. Now, in this particular scenario, my client and I both lived in the same city, but I did have a lot more time and obviously responsibility to my client. So I often went over to check the progress. And a lot of progress when it comes to new builds, you're going to have to be in constant contact with the lender so that they're aware. And coincidentally, during this time that my client was having things built, the rates were started low and started to get high. So throughout her process, she had to buy down her rate lock. The rate lock expired after a certain time frame. So you got to keep that in mind when you're doing the new construction process, because that is really going to determine whether or not you stay within that payment that you're looking for, or that timeline is going to just shift things around altogether. And there are things that we as realtors know and can do to work with the lender to make sure you're still on the right track. However, just keep that in mind when dealing with new construction. So I am on site right now doing a check-in for one of my clients. New construction, just trying to see some sod back here in the back. But just making sure we do a little bit of a walkthrough, see what's going well, see what isn't, see what things need to be updated. It's still very much under construction, but just getting here to see what's what. A lot of times it's helpful to get here and look at how work is being done, and that can help you when you come closer to the final walkthrough or inspection, if there are some things that jumped out at you very early on, you make a note of those and see if that's still the case when everything wraps up. So, yeah. So, as you can see throughout this process, little things are being done. Flooring will go down, doors will be put on, cabinetry will be put up, electrical will be put in the right place. But I do think when you have a realtor, I do know actually when you have a realtor that we can go by there to take a look at the work that's being done. And make some mental notes to make sure what we're seeing in this process is taken care of by the time we get to the final walkthrough on the new construction home. And depending on the builder's parameters, you as the buyer under contract may or may not be able to come through and take a look at the site when an agent is there. I know this with this particular builder, they were very open. So whenever I needed to go by and do some sort of check-in, they were fine with that as long as I was not in the way of the construction team that was there. So keep that in mind too. But again, this is just going to show you a little bit more of the progress as we go by. All right, guys, we are in the final stretches here from one of my new construction properties, just kind of checking out where it is, what's going on in the process. There's so many things that you have to stay on top of when this type of thing is happening. I'll do a totally separate video on that, and you guys will be able to check that out. But for now, just making sure some things are done to stay on track for closing. So, yeah. And I'm pausing here because throughout the process too, you're going to do at the very beginning a design selection. So if you make sure your realtor is present there, then that's always great because when you do those walkthroughs, you know exactly what you should be expecting as far as design wise. So whether or not the flooring is going to be carpet, whether or not it's going to be hardwood, the grain, the color, if there are any specific fixtures or upgrades that you made to your particular property, you need to make sure that your realtor is there and your realtor is privy to that so that when you do those check-ins, they will see, wait a minute, this is wrong, and you can get that fixed ahead of time. I do know that we ran into my client having one of the selections that they selected was completely just forgotten about. And so the builder did credit that to them at closing. But the idea is not to get a credit back at closing. The idea is to make sure that what has been selected is actually what goes in there. So I do have a new construction checklist that would be great for you to start with if you're going into new construction. It's going to be a great little kind of guiding light and tool because you'll be working, you'll be busy, you'll be doing things. And when we're in that place in life, we have a tendency to forget things and things slip our mind. So this is just one little tool that can help you kind of check things off or scratch things off as you walk through. If you have any questions at all, I am happy to answer those for you. My contact information is obviously here in the description. I would love for you to be a part of my community, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. By giving this video just a like, it really does help my channel and it really does help me reach other potential new home buyers like yourself or even new agents who just need to know a little bit more information about getting into the business. So do take the time to give me a like. And even if you have a question, feel free to leave that in the comments. And per usual, thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.